Gone Home is a video game that was recently released to great praise from multiple networks. The problem here, however, is that it isn't exactly much of a video game at all. It is simply a basic story that happens to be interactive. There's barely any game in this piece of work to be found. I honestly wonder if any of these reviewers have actually played the game at all, or if they were just paid off. Many critics have praised Gone Home for its great storytelling elements, however, there's nothing complex or even interesting in the plot to be found. Essentially, the game focuses on your sister Sam, who realizes herself to be a lesbian after becoming close friends with a classmate. There's no twist at any point, and throughout the experience, it becomes painfully obvious what will occur. Your sister Sam is nothing special. Her character is your typically shy teenager who happens to be a lesbian. Literally nothing in the story would change if instead of falling in love with a rebel girl, she would fall in love with a rebel boy. The creators of Gone Home seem to have made Sam a lesbian just for the sake of being a lesbian. What pains me the most about Gone Home is that it barely explores what I found to be the much more interesting plot of your father. It is heavily implied that his uncle had molested him at a young age, and we also learn that he is a failed author of several science fiction novels. To me, this plotline seemed much more interesting than the first world problems of a young lesbian coming to realize herself. There are also moments in the game that imply that the house is haunted by the spirit of your dead relative, but nothing happens with that angle either. That's not to say that everything about Gone Home was awful. I did enjoy some small details with interactions, one of such regarding your sister's stuffed dinosaur toy that you can find on her bed. Before grabbing it, your character will question the name of the toy, Stelly or Steggy, and upon examining it, she will confirm that it is indeed Steggy. Small details like this one add a good flavor to the experience, making it feel somewhat more genuine. Though it's a true shame that there are far and few between, and we are instead fed boring lesbian journal entries. The game ends very anticlimactically once you go into the attic of the house and find the final entry from your sister. The whole time I was waiting for something to happen, but nothing ever does. You literally walk from one section of the house to the next, looking for more boring information about your sister until you reach the end. In total, the game will take around 2 to 3 hours to complete if you decide to explore thoroughly. It truly feels like a game that would be found for free online, but it is instead priced at $20, which is absolutely absurd. I've literally played better point-and-click Flash games than Newgrounds. I really question what kind of state the gaming industry is in if this kind of work seriously gets perfect scores from anybody. All this game does is pander to the LGBT community. Will anyone remember this game in a year from now and hold it to any regard? The Metal Gear Solid series has good storytelling. Dark Souls has good storytelling. Gone Home is not a game with storytelling done well. As a narrative-driven game, it does not do well to keep the player interested whatsoever. At the end of the day, Gone Home is a walking simulator with postcards and journal entries. There's not a single puzzle to be found. There's no attempt for the game to challenge me whatsoever, and there's no condition for failure. In fact, the game is so bad I wouldn't even recommend the playthrough if it was a free game. If Gone Home can seriously be considered a video game, then you can have just as much fun playing with Google Earth.